Alright guys, so let's talk about Python. So Python is really great. Alright? It's one of the key packages or programming languages for data analysis. Some people like to use R, and of course it's not the fastest library around, but it's incredibly versatile. And so, for example, what's so great about it is that it's great for text manipulation. There's lots of awesome libraries, and here under the SciPy umbrella, some of the key ones are collected. There's NumPy, which basically turns Python into MATLAB, and Matplotlib that allows for plotting. SymPy, you can do symbolic math. There's pandas if you have structured data like time series, and IPython, which we'll be using heavily, and SciPy, which is, as it says, the fundamental library for scientific computing. So there's lots of great packages. There's also an amazing package for network analysis called NetworkX, where you can even plot little cool networks like this, but where you have all the basic functionality needed to do great network analysis in Python. All right, so it's a great language. There's even I think there's an XKCD Python comic here, kind of trying to explain why Python is so great. And it exactly has to do with the fact that it's easy to write, it's very clear syntax, and has all these great packages. All right, and we're going to be using the Anaconda package that you can get at this page. There's also a link to it in the wiki. I kind of explain everything in the wiki, so you don't need to notice it, but it's just to say Anaconda is how we'll be installing Python, and usually it's actually very difficult to install all the Python packages and get them to run together, but Anaconda makes that easy. Now, IPython is even better, and let me show you why. But first, let me show you how I run it. I open my terminal like this. Oops, there's actually already an instance running, so I'll just do this, and then just to have a nice clear thing, I'll open a new window, and let's then start it. So the way you start it is you type Jupyter. I can explain that to you another time. Jupyter Notebook, just like this. And here we go, and now you can just see my file structure. So let's start a new file. I'm going to go to the desktop, then I'm going to open a new folder. I need somewhere to put the file, so let's call it something. Oops, let's give it a name. There we go, week 1. And if we refresh, we can see it here. So let's go into this folder, and now we have a good place to start a new notebook. So I go down here and start it, Python 2 notebook. So you can actually do this for a lot of different programming languages, but we'll be using Python 2. And then there are two sort of fundamental ways of that you can do. And what's great about IPython notebook is that the notebook here gives you a way to put rich text around your code, and that's ideal in a class like this or any situation where you're communicating some messages around your code. So it's a way of writing a document that has live code and plots and everything inside it. So let's sort of see what it can do. So let me first tell you about how you enter text surrounding stuff. So you can do Markdown. There's a link in the wiki that explains how to do it, but I'll just show. Here's the title. And if I press Shift Return, it comes out. I can double click to add some more. So I can write, let's add text. And we can do all kinds of fancy stuff. We can write emphasized stuff and bold text like this. And we can also do little lists. Like so. And what else can we do? We can write, if you know LaTeX, you can write cool math. So let's write some math. let's write like this, and it typesets it nicely. We can even do, I think, some display math. Right, so let's do the integral over 1 over x squared so you can it's very versatile in adding text, and we can of course also write code. So up here we call it markdown, and code are in these blocks down here. So let me write just something. Let's try a for loop. Let's write something. And then let's pipe something in there. Not pipe it in there, but let's put it in there to like so. There we go. So we can write simple code snippets, and we can also do some plotting. In order to do some plotting, we need to import a library, kind of what we said before. And then I know, and this kind of is important. Oh, let's also give it a name, huh? Let's call it something. There we go. And I know that we can actually get matplotlib to plot inline, to plot inside this notebook. But I don't remember how to do it. And this is another important point here, is that almost every question you have about coding and about how to get stuff to work has already been answered online. There are some sites like Stack Overflow that you can go to. So let's try and sort of use this as a demo to say, all right, I don't remember how to plot inline. What do I need to have IPython? What's the command I need to give IPython to plot inline? So then I go to the browser and I do, since we're doing matplotlib, and we got to say IPython, and then plot inline. And let's see what comes up. Stack Overflow here, and this will be your friend. Everything is answered here, and basically I think, even though this guy can't get it to work, I'm pretty sure that this is the correct command. Let's go back and try it at least. So like so. So now we're telling matplotlib to plot it inline, and then we need some data to plot. So let me write a string or a list of data that we want to plot. Let's do 1, and then how about 4 and 9 and maybe 16, something like that. I don't know what that sequence is, but let's write it down, and then we can do plt.plot and then plot data, and let's see if that works. It's thinking, and yeah, lo and behold, we did a little plot here. So we can write some code. Oh, and then we forgot, we should kind of tell people what we're doing in this, right? So of course we can still write good old-fashioned code comments but we can also, if someone else is going to be reading this and we're telling them which direction we're going, we can do insert cell above, and we want to make it a markdown cell because we're writing something, and then we can do let's explore plotting in IPython. And then we have a little text that sort of says that we're doing a new topic. So those are the key things related to IPython, which is Python is great for data analysis, and also that you'll be doing everything in this class in IPython, or more or less everything inside IPython notebooks. That's how you'll hand in the assignments. So yeah, I think that's all I had for you guys. So thanks for listening, and we'll be back with more next week.